Pikachu.
Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest action figure video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and let's talk toys. Let's talk about Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. This is probably one of my most anticipated action figures, not just Marvel Legends, but action figures of the year. I have been wanting for the longest time a classic 90s looking Spider-Man, and you know what? We got him. So let's talk about him. We originally had Retro Spider-Man, and I loved that figure. And I actually thought to myself, you know what? I don't need to get this guy. I don't need to buy this 2-pack. Retro is fine. And then I thought to myself, you know what, Dave? You are like a Marvel Legends guy. And second to that, or first to that, you are a Spider-Man guy. So how can you not have the best Marvel Legend of Spider-Man? Seems pretty obvious, and I'm so glad that I do now because he's worth it. Straight up. Absolutely worth it. Let's talk about him like one bit at a time. First of all, the body, the articulation. You can see the pose I've got him in at the moment. He sort of sits on my shelf like in a superhero Spider-Man type pose. Looks so striking. Looks so dynamic. Absolutely dig the bejesus out of this guy. As a centerpiece for my Spider-Man display, to build all the villains around. He looks so good. Now then, with the actual coloring, it's flawless. Again, people worry about paint apps and stuff, and you know that's what I was waiting for. I took him out of the box. I'm like, how does he look? He looks perfect. All of the web lines are beautifully clean and neat, just the way they should be. The spider symbol on the chest looks fantastic. The eyes, the mask. That's another thing that I love about this character, is that the eyes, the lenses, big 90s lenses. They're still not quite the style that I would love. I'd love Mark Bagley style eyes. I don't think we've ever really got those. Pizza Spider-Man was close, but maybe one day. If they keep making them like this, I'm gonna keep buying them because they look terrific. So going down the body, it's what you would expect from the Retro with the upper torso swivel and then the ab crunch at the bottom. For me, this is the perfect posing combination. You get the forward and back crunch with the abs, but then you lose the ugly disc swivel because you got the nice torso swivel. Bravo to whatever genius came up with this as the combination for articulation, because my goodness, it works. It works so well. And the big thing for this Spidey is, of course, pinless. No pins, which again was such a big thing for Spider-Man because we ended up before with big ugly red pins sticking out of the blue costume. It looked bad. It looked real bad. So the fact that we now have this, where there's no pins breaking up anything, the colors are all the way they should be. So nice. And now this is one thing that I never thought I was ever going to be the least bit interested in. Toe articulation. Of my list of priorities for a Spider-Man figure, toe articulation would have been way down the bottom. Guess what? I freaking love toe articulation. I never thought, but the ability to do this makes such a huge difference for posing. I guess I was a little bit ignorant about it. I never thought twice about it. But now, especially, like, I appreciate it with like superhero type stances where you're kneeling down. That's where the toe articulation really comes into its own. But also, I found that like web slinging poses where he's jumping through the air, the ability to just slightly bend the toes forward makes the whole character look so much more human, because no one jumps through the air with perfectly flat duck feet. It just makes it look more like a physical human body inside here. I never would have considered it being an essential thing, but now I got to admit, Hasbro, you kind of ruined future Spider-Man for me. If they don't have toe articulation, I'm going to be giving out about it on this channel because it's like, no, I want toe articulation on my Spider-Man now because it makes such a big difference. I love it. I really love it. So speaking of loving it, let's take a little look at the Peter Parker Unmasked head on here as well, because this is a good looking Peter Parker right here. They're using their new kind of coloring techniques as well. So there's so much more detail going on with the face. Looks soulful, man. Looks real soulful. This This is the Peter Parker that I grew up with. This is the late 20s, like I'm guessing sort of 27 Peter Parker, the one who I was reading during the Clone Saga, all that kind of thing. That's why I love this design so much. Now I want to see a new Scarlet Spider with a blonde version of this head. It's so much you can do with this. I think they really have cracked it. Stacking him up next to Mary Jane from the 2-pack, they look like a happy married couple. I kind of dig that. I want my Spider-Man to be happy, and he's got a happy little expression here. With the different colors for the lips, again, it's so hard to do lips a different color without making it look like they're wearing lipstick. And this is it. This is a very human, natural looking lip color. And the incredible detail on the eyes as well. Like, there's so much going on there. Thumbs up. Can of Coke. Really love this Peter Parker. One other thing I would have really enjoyed to like just tip this over the edge would have been if he had like his mask that he can hold in his hand, because if he's gonna be maskless, it makes sense to have the mask in hand. So that's an accessory that Hasbro never really done. I don't think we've ever had a Hasbro just an empty mask. That's one for the future. If they ever did that, I would be very interested to see it. But on the whole, this is just incredible. With the other hands as well, you got the open, you got the fist, and you got the thwip, so there's so many different posing options. It's a delight. We're going to stack him up now with a couple of other Spider-Men. You can see we've got the Ben Reilly Sensational Spider-Man. That's on the retro body too. So you can see they're very similar, but of course, gotta love the pinless look. Then next to Mary Jane, of course, from the 2-pack. It's a lovely 2-pack. It's really nice. It's a little more expensive than you would maybe want to pay, but at least you're getting two really nice figures with different heads, different hands. They've gone the extra mile, and I really dig that. I would rather pay slightly above the odds for figures that I love than like an average amount for a figure that I'm like, it's okay, it fills a gap, I suppose. This doesn't just fill a gap. This absolutely exceeds what I would have wanted, and for that, I really dig him. So, as an overall grade for this Spider-Man, I am absolutely going to give him an 8.5 out of 10. Oh my goodness! That is an incredibly high grade, which a lot of it is going to go into my love for Spider-Man as well, because that is going to take him a long way. But the fact he's pinless, the fact he's got two different heads with a great unmasked Peter head, the extra hands, the beautiful articulation, the nice paint apps, everything, I dig him. And the toes! Man, I never thought I would care about toes, but there you go. I'm a toe bro now, and I'm not afraid to say it. Give me Spider-Man toes or give me death. That's quite extreme, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, guys, that's my review, and I really love this guy. And folks, that does it for my Renew Your Vows Spider-Man review. An absolutely fantastic figure. I'm so happy that I've got this. Originally, I was gonna do like a Spider-Man upgrade thing where, like I've done with the X-Men, I swap out characters from different lines to make the ultimate display. Nah! Hasbro, congratulations. I'm just gonna have to have two different Spider-Man display. I'm gonna have completely Marvel Legends display and then other lines as well, because I just love what you're doing. It's solid. It just works. It's really nice, bright, bold. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I fell in love with the line. So guys, thanks very much for watching. And until next time, keep displaying model behavior. Well, hi there. This is your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man with a special message for Model Behavior viewers. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to go one step beyond in supporting the channel, you can do by going to patreon.com/displaying model behavior. Or you could always stay right here on YouTube and get yourself a channel membership. Every little helps support model behavior. Speaking of which, if you want to go over to the social media side of things, you can join the Model Behavior Instagram page and the Model Behavior Facebook group. I'm sorry, it's difficult to talk with this mask on. Facebook group, yeah, that thing. Go join that. And if you want to get some more dose of Dave, that sounds weird, then, oh, the sun's a bit bright. Okay, I need to shield against that, otherwise I'm going to get bleached. Folks, don't let your action figures sit in direct sunlight, all right? That's not good. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, displaying miscellaneous behavior. That's another Facebook, no, YouTube. I'm getting confused. It's another YouTube channel that Dave does, displaying miscellaneous behavior. And also, Mal Behavior Wrestling. All the links are in the description below. And also, go over to teespring.com. Pick yourself up a Mal Behavior t-shirt. They look cool. All right, now I'm time to swing off out of here. Do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. That's my theme song.
Cup of coffee.